Well, good morning, my bow fishing brethren. It's Tim Daniels from THS Sporting Center, and it is now May 15th, and I took the day off work to go bow fishing because I think, even with the temperatures being a little cooler than one would like, I'm going to get some daytime spawn action here. And so hopefully I'll break down a little bit more of what's going on in the boat here, and we'll get some beautiful footage. Hope you guys have a damn good day. We're looking forward to this one. Well, as you can see, that I had a lot of enthusiasm on this day, hoping things that were going to be absolutely epic. And, well, they weren't really epic. They were still good, but the fish weren't quite ready yet. And again, just extremely skittish. Everything was running. I was pretty happy with this. This is my very first shot with the Leviathan, and nailed a nice fish right out of the gate. This is about 5 minutes starting into my bow fishing trip, and had still really high hopes at this point. But later on, you can see how things just sort of just really never materialized. There was only one case, I think, if I had a common carp spawning. The rest of them were still gathering, and you've seen a lot of large fish, but man, they were spooky. They just weren't allowing me to get too close to them.
Look at that.
Well, that's really good news. First shot, first fish, and it was just barely hanging on there. This is going to be a great day. So, here's a little breakdown of, some of the stuff that I have going on up here. I use these 3x3 anti-fatigue mats that you can find at Menards. Those are really nice for standing on. My knees are shot. I've had both of them operated on. So standing for long periods of time is pretty tough on them. Standing on those rubber mats makes it significantly easier to do. Another thing that I'm wearing is knee braces. They're actually like knee pads that have like a hard plastic exterior and a mechanical joint that helps support your knee as well. This is the only gar I shot on this day. I don't shoot many gars. I don't like my arrow passing through them, and I have had pass-throughs on them where their scales have cut the line afterwards. And being that I'm shooting these $60 arrows plus $60, $70 arrows, I don't like losing arrows or trying to retrieve them. I like them to stay attached to my line.
Oh, there we go.
This fish ended up weighing just over 22 pounds, and it was a nice one. It was the second largest one I ended up taking this day. I ended up shooting one later on this video here, which I believe is 29 pounds, and seen a lot of big fish on this trip, a lot of stuff in the high teens. You know, backing up about 30 years ago, I might see 2 or 3 goldfish in a year. And now, well, as things slowly changed, it would be, you'd be maybe see 2, maybe per trip. And now over the last year or so, it's gotten to the point where, you know, I expect to see probably, I don't know, 4 to say half a dozen this time of year. And towards fall, for some reason or not, maybe it's just because the areas I'm in, you know, I have probably seen more than 20 or 30 in a night, and have shot in like, I think now 15 is my record for one night. So many of these fish on this trip ended up being in the teens, and there was, again, a lot of nice fish out there. I think I seen one on this trip that was probably close to 30 pounds, but man, it just did not give me a good clean shot. It was staying on the outside edge of my effective range, and much less with a fish that big and pull that hard. I did make a Hail Mary shot at it, but I didn't connect. That was a sad moment. The wind speed on this particular day, the forecast was calling for like 3 to 4 mile-hour winds, and as you can see, it was well over that. It had to be about 8 miles per hour coming out of the northwest, and it just makes it a little bit harder to see those fish. So this ended up being the best fish of the day. It weighed, I think it was 28.86 or something like that. Really nice fish. And this is a pretty good poke too. But I landed a good shot on it, and was lucky to make it happen. You see that hat that I'm wearing there? My wife sewed a handkerchief into the back of it to protect the back of my neck from getting burned from daytime shoots. So this is a cordless power washer that I ended up picking up, fairly inexpensive. I forget what it was. This one is made by Works, or something along that lines. So I take the line and I weight it down with a small weight, and just try to make sure it doesn't get caught on the bottom or pulling up silt. And again, this is a power washer that allows you just enough to sort of clean off some of the big mess on the decks when it comes to fish eggs and how well those things stick to everything. And this time of year, if you get a couple of fish on there that are particularly messy, this is just a good way to sort of clean things up on the fly. It still is not going to replace a full-size power washer. It doesn't have anywhere near the pressure that a full-size power washer does. But for a little battery-operated, simple-to-use out-on-the-boat tool, very useful.
Another big one. I don't think I have it that good, though. It's high. So what I did there is I pushed the arrow into the fish just to make sure I got him good.
So this ended up being the first full day of shooting the deadweight Leviathan. I recently purchased this bow and took it out once earlier with a 25% module on it, and even then I didn't have the draw length / module set correctly. I had ordered, I believe, the bow set at, or for 27 inches. It came in at about 28.5, which is fine because I have like about a 29.5 inch draw. The reason I had ordered 27 is this: I knew by previous experience when shooting my G-Rex that I had way too much finger pinch in anything beyond 27 inches. And in all fair comparison, the Leviathan is taller or longer in tip to tip. It's a significant difference in saving fingers. It's much more comfortable to shoot than my G-Rex is. You know, I always have mixed emotions about fish that put on a spectacular fight. You know, it's great to see it and it's exciting, but I also fear that, I don't want to lose the fish. I don't want the arrow pulling out. I don't like my arrow getting beat against the bow and the knot breaking off and all this other kind of crazy stuff. But all that being said, it is nice when they put on a great show. So this ended up being the second and last goldfish that I ended up taking for the day. And again, this one was just absolutely a beautiful fish. You can see how my calm 9, probably 10 mile per hour winds here are making things easier for me. But nonetheless, I got to fight the wind in this 23-foot John boat here that I have.
Oh, stoned him. In the cranium. He didn't even twitch. Oh, come on, baby.
You know, up until this year, I think it's been the past 4 years now, I've been shooting a G-Rex, and it's an absolutely phenomenal bow. It's a great platform. Personally, I think the bow really is uncomfortable to shoot over 27 inches. Really, 27 and a half inches is about the max one can shoot that comfortably, at least for myself, because of the amount of finger pinch. I've tried 2 fingers, and 2 fingers does work out slightly better, but after 100 shots, maybe even 200 shots, your fingers really start getting tired out. At least mine get very tired out. So, I guess in general, one of the things I would sort of, I guess, my takeaway with a dead wake, a Leviathan, is imagine you took sort of the physical overall size of a Oneida Osprey, medium, and then you combined it with some of the best intents of like a G-Rex, and then, maybe, added a couple other features to it, a couple other, like the aluminum outboard limb is pretty neat. That is a really nice option, and it's something that I like in that particular setup. The Leviathan is easier on my fingers to shoot. Seems to be just as accurate, even possibly more accurate than my G-Rex, and I find it's something that I can shoot longer with less fatigue. I've done quite a bit of work to my boat trailer. I replaced all of the support running boards and that kind of stuff with basically double the size of the original materials. You see those are 4x6s on the guide rails on the sides. All of the boards on the bottom there are all womanized, I think 2x8s. And again, went up on the whole thing. This gives the bow a much greater support across more of the hull. At the end of the trip, obviously I try to stow away my gear. You can see my two rod/gun boxes back there, which I use for battery boxes and also for accessories. I'm running a 90 horse Yamaha 4-stroke. The boat does everything that I needed to do. I like a larger boat for stability. Again, small boats are nice to get in really shallow water. This can get in pretty shallow water, but it is, again, a very large footprint. All of my electrical wiring has been put into plastic, tubing. That is to, again, protect all the jackets, try to close everything up, try to keep all that wire from being exposed to sun and the elements. All in all, it was a great day to be on the water. Obviously, the bowfishing could have been a hell of a lot better, but it's always nice to get out. The fish were really skittish, long shots. I'm getting the feel for the Leviathan, and I really like it. Again, it takes me a little while to settle into something. I know when I first got my G-Rex, it took me a good 3 trips before I really enjoyed it. This Leviathan seems to be coming around quicker.